Time to go inside out with our NBA insider Ian Begley, who joins us live from the Garden. Ian, this game seemed to be a microcosm of the Knicks season. They dig themselves in a hole early on, then battle back, but it's not enough. Why do you think they can't find any consistency when it comes to that?
Well, Chris, if you wanted to make an excuse for the Knicks tonight, you would say that, hey, R.J. Barrett was out, they lost Taj Gibson early, and so no Nerlens Noel, they were down a bunch of their rotation players. But I don't think in a big picture sense there are any excuses to be made here because, you know, this team, a lot of the roster was brought back from last season. Last season, you win 41 games, you get the 4th seed in the East. This year, you think you would start consistently off the bat. It hasn't happened. Julius Randle said, though, that he remains confident it will happen. They just need to lock in on the defensive end and avoid these self-inflicted errors like all those turnovers in the first half.
And I think Knicks fans at this point are probably tired of hearing that. They want to see actions more than words because, you know, we're more than a quarter away in the season and we're still seeing this. And now the Knicks trailed by 18 at the break. And Julius Randle and Evan Fournier seemed to have a very heated discussion as they walked off. What can you tell us about that exchange?
Yeah, both Randle and Fournier were asked about it after the game, and they said that it had to do with a rebounding assignment, defensive assignment late in the half, and they just kind of had it out on the floor on the walk to the locker room, and they both said it was healthy. It was good for them to kind of just be honest with each other, have an honest conversation. Randle said instead of keeping those frustrations inside himself, it's more helpful to let it out and talk to your teammate. And you noticed in the third quarter, both of those guys played really well. They played big roles in getting the Knicks back in the game. Fournier, in particular, was very active on defense. So maybe that honest conversation turned things around a little bit for the Knicks early in that second half.
Yeah, so maybe they need to have more of those honest conversations. I mean, sometimes when you're dealing with adversity, that leads to great success. And obviously, they didn't win on Thursday, but they still showed a lot of grit in that second half. And the NBA trade deadline is ways away, but it's never too early to figure out whether you're buyers or sellers. Any buzz on that around the league?
Yeah, it's interesting, Chris, because this is the time of season as you approach December 15th when most free agents who signed last summer can be traded, that teams start to figure out whether they're buyers or sellers at the deadline. And right now, there's not many teams at the bottom there where they're clear sellers. So I think teams are in this kind of middle ground where the next few weeks are going to be pivotal to determine whether they're buyers or sellers. The Knicks are right there, too, believe it or not, because they're at 500. You know, you could see if things go sideways before the February trade deadline, maybe they turn into sellers. They're more likely to be buyers than sellers, obviously, at this point. But you're entering a crucial 2-week, 3-week period here for all teams to figure that out.